Minister for National Security Gov'T Francis says, despite encountering what he calls stumbling blocks by the St. Lucia National Trust (SLNT), the state has identified a location to bury deceased prisoners, paving the way for the construction of a new police headquarters and Hall of Justice on Upper Bridge Street. The project has been put on hold since the trust wanted to preserve the eminence of the old Her Majesty's Jail. Francis says the prisoners' remains will be exhumed and laid to rest in proximity to the Bordelais Correctional Facility in Dennery.
We have indicated that we want to build a police headquarters and the Hall of Justice. And then the National Trust came in and said that there were prisons, the remains of convicted criminals there who had been executed. And so we stopped. Now that we have identified an area by Bordelais to make it a cemetery, and so we are removing the remains of those deceased criminals and taking it across. As soon as that has been done, very early in the new year, you will see some construction started.
Prison cemeteries are used when the remains of inmates are not claimed by family or friends and also include convicts executed for capital crimes.
The law indicates that you must have, as long as you have the capital punishment in your books, it must be very close to the facility. So I'm happy that it's there, and I do hope that some of the prisoners look across and see it being constructed.
On the controversial location of the Magistrates' Court on Coral Street, near the Ave Maria Girls' School, which has been plagued by bomb threats and other security issues, Francis claims that courthouses need to be within a certain geographical distance to the city. He alleges that the Rockall Pavé bus drivers were the only stakeholders affected, and their operations have since been relocated.
When we came in, there was a dearth of courthouses. There's no dispute to that. And what do? Persons were crying for justice. Justice delayed is justice denied. So immediately we started looking for places. Then we had a problem with Naira Court, and we had to spend some money at Naira Court to bring it up to a standard where persons were comfortable. We did that, they're happy now, and so on. But the Magistrates' Court was suffering. Okay, and the law is that you must have your courthouse within a certain geographical distance from the city. That's a fact. And so it's not our building. We rented the building. We have gone into a list with the owner.
Francis cited the Naira Court as an example of a judicial facility whose operations have not negatively affected two schools, gas stations, the Sad Plain Field and the VG Sports Complex to accentuate his argument. Lizandy Bovell-Jones, HTS News Force.